Good evening, internet enthusiasts, and welcome back to another thrilling episode of Geography Stories. So, you're joining me at a very famous landmark in Paris, France, and that landmark is known as the Arc de Triomphe, sometimes referred to as Étoile. Étoile, I think that's how you say it, which is, of course, the French word for star. Why is it called the star? This is why. All the branching intersections around the Arc de Triomphe is the reason for that. Back down to where we were. This is Charles de Gaulle Place. Okay, so a few little fun facts about the Arc de Triomphe, which stands at the western end of the Champs-Élysées, which is, of course, a busy street. It has 12 avenues that branch out from it, which is incredible. This archway is also home to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier from World War I. Style of this building is neoclassical, which is basically a Western cultural movement that drew inspiration from classical antiquity. There's actually one of these in North Korea too. Let's see if we can find a quick picture of it. It should be in Pyongyang somewhere. Not many photos in Pyongyang, unfortunately. No, that's football stadium. It's right here, but I don't think we're going to be able to see a street view image of it. But here is an image. Slightly different. It's definitely taken some inspiration from it. A lot of crazy shit has taken place at the Arc de Triomphe over its long life. At the end of the First World War, a pilot named Charles Godefroy flew his biplane under the arch's primary vault. So, it looks too small for a biplane. Anyway, there you go. He did it. It was captured on newsreel, which is pretty impressive. And yeah, everybody's just casually going about their day underneath while this motherfucker flies a plane straight through the arch. The Arc de Triomphe got pretty dirty over the years due to, I don't know, bearing witness to 2 fucking wars, having a plane flown through its insides, and constantly having cars circling around it in what is known as the world's most dangerous roundabout, and I'll talk about that in a second. Anyway, it became blackened. You can't really tell in these photos, perhaps in this one here. What did they do? It was the 60s. They decided to bleach it. Yeah, so here it is after being bleached. I'm not too sure when this photo was taken, but after 1965. I think it took a couple of years. It was a big job. Yeah, so this arch has been violated in a number of ways. Probably the most infamous incident took place during the Second World War. And that is, of course, when old AH, that guy, marched the German army through the Arc de Triomphe. This is when Paris fell to Germany in the 1940s. And there's a big spider in my window and a plane going past. And yeah, set up a puppet government inside France. Okay, so let's talk about the most hectic roundabout, the most dangerous roundabout on Earth. I'm sure there must be some other sketchy roundabout on some cliff top made of ice. But anyway, interesting rules or facts about this roundabout in regard to running the gauntlet and driving around it. So apparently, if there's an accident in this roundabout, each driver is considered equally at fault. It doesn't matter who caused it, because everybody agrees that this is just a nightmare place to drive. Yeah, they share the blame, which is interesting. And it's the only place in Paris where accidents are not judged. So yeah, no matter what the circumstances, insurance companies will split the costs 50-50. So that's curious. The other feature, which I found fascinating, was to do with how you enter this roundabout, and it does not happen anywhere else in Paris. So let's imagine you're cruising along and you're approaching the roundabout. Now, rather than waiting for this traffic to pass you, you don't have to stop. You can just launch your little fucking Fiat or Citroen straight into the roundabout without looking and begin your orbit around the sun or the arc. Cars enter the circle counterintuitively, and you have the right of way. If you're already in the circle, you must yield. If a bus pulls out in front of you, you have to slam on the brakes. They have the right of way. So apparently this is, an effective way. Otherwise, people would find themselves just being stuck at these 12 pointed star intersections all day. So I didn't bring you to the Arc de Triomphe to talk to you about traffic rules and roundabouts. I brought you here to share with you some information about one of my favorite artists. It's actually two artists. It's a couple. It is Christo and Jean-Claude, who were born in Bulgaria and Morocco, respectively. And they were renowned for a particular style of artwork that is pretty fucking unbelievable. Yeah, so Christo Vladimirov was probably the more known or well-known of the two artists, although they worked as a pair and he unfairly received most of the credit for this work, even though his wife, Jean-Claude, also came up with the works and participated in their construction. Sadly, Christo Vladimirov passed away, I don't know, maybe in the last 10 years. So the artwork I'm about to show you was erected posthumously. So let me show you now. Oh, the tension I just built. My word. Okay, here we are. So Christo and Jean-Claude were renowned for their large-scale, site-specific installations, often environmental installations and also urban installations, because, if you didn't realize, that is the Arc de Triomphe wrapped up like a fucking Christmas present. I just think it's incredible. It's covered in like just so much fabric. This was like their shtick, their interest. Wrapping landmarks and landscapes even, amazingly. I'm about to show you something even more amazing than this work. Yeah, so this couple, they met and married in Paris, so it's nice that they put this piece up posthumously. I'm sure Jean-Claude had something to do with it as well. Yeah, so they met and married in Paris in the 50s, before the bleaching, and they worked under Christo's name, but later it was credited to both artists. So as you can probably imagine, this type of artwork was controversial because it's big, probably took up a lot of time, interrupted a lot of processes or day-to-day life, and I guess some people were concerned that there was an environmental impact as well. There was also a human impact too. I remember they had an installation once in, I believe they had one in Japan and one in the US, and I can't remember where it occurred, but basically it was a highway lined with umbrellas. I think it was Japan. And there was a windstorm, and one of the umbrellas flew out of the ground and unfortunately struck a motorist and they were killed. This is the one in Japan, and this was the one in, I think it's California, the umbrellas. So these enormous artworks took years of planning, as you can probably imagine. They had to spend a long time gaining permission to cover monuments in fabric. So that it involved a lot of political negotiations and technical solutions to weird problems. This is probably an easy one to do. And then, of course, they had to get like environmental approvals as well. And they never created their work via grants or public money. They only ever financed their projects with the sale of their own artwork, and they refused all money from the public and all donations as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah, okay, so that's the wrapped Arc de Triomphe in Paris, which is one of the most recent, probably the most recent work. Now we're going to jump back. Yeah, so had obviously been making artwork before this, but this is the piece that put Christo and Jean-Claude on the map. And it was constructed in 1969 in Little Bay in Sydney on these cliffs here, and it's called the Wrapped Coast. Yeah, in Australia, amazingly. And it was a hard project and a big deal. So a very famous environmental art installation. It's pretty fucking unbelievable. I'll show you some images in a second. It makes wrapping the Arc de Triomphe look like child's play compared to what you're about to see. So basically they've wrapped 2.4 kilometers of the coastline with 1 million square feet of fabric. Let me show you. Here's one image from the bottom of the cliffs. Sorry about this image quality as well. Here's another. This is Cristo here. Lots of people volunteered to help with this project. It had a lot of problems, as you can probably imagine. Here's another from slightly up above. Even just like a fucking safety issue, just navigating these rocks and the ocean and the wind. And here's one from a little further away with a really big section of the cliff now covered. They just need to tuck in some of the sheets. The next time you try to put a fitted sheet on your bed, I want you to think of Christo and Jean-Claude and what they went through, and you won't feel so badly trying to pull those corners over the edge of your mattress. So I'll just show you some more images. This is Little Bay here before the artwork was installed. So it was monumental in scale, and look at this. It did involve a temporary alteration of a natural landscape. This is a model. I just realized, I was like, whoa, this is really curious. But yeah, it's a model. There was a lot of consideration for the environment. For example, they used erosion control fabric so that it wouldn't rub against the cliffs, since it was going to be there for about 10 weeks. Here they are manufacturing the woven fiber that they used, because let's face it, they couldn't just pop down to fucking Spotlight or Lincraft and what was it, 1 million square feet of fabric. Come on, who comes up with an art project like this? Just get a canvas from Kmart. No, it's amazing. All right. So yeah, the environmental art movement was popping off at the time, and they were obviously loving this so much because of the sheer scale and the fact that it interacted with a natural landscape and all that other kind of like art wank stuff that I do love about the transient nature of art and leaving no lasting impact on the environment. It'd be kind of sad, but it was documented so well that the memory of the piece remains via photography, so we can continue to be reminded of such a significant work in the history of contemporary art. And I'm ashamed to say I didn't learn about this artist until EC art teacher told me about them. I'll just flick through a few more of these photos so you can see. Stitching the fabric together, then pulling it over the side of the cliffs. Look at this, so dangerous. I love how everybody just got on board. Like this guy, it's probably like cleaning windows on skyscrapers in downtown Sydney. And now look what he's doing. He's sewing a jacket onto a cliff. This is an in-progress photo. This is somebody that's about to be launched off into the ocean. He's trying to hold down the fabric during a storm. Oh gosh. Oh, that's right. It was destroyed in a storm, and they had to take it all down, I think, and rebuild it. Yeah, it's crazy. And here it is. This is the view of the completed project. It's unbelievable. I'll just jump back to Street View now, and this is Little Bay. This photo was taken in 2016, so like 40, 50 years after this cliff here was wrapped in fabric. It would have been pretty cool living in this area and getting up and seeing such an amazing fabric installation stretched across the landscape. I think it would have been pretty cool. All right, so yeah, I mentioned that EC art teacher first told me about this. I learned that they knew about this when we were on a holiday in Europe, and we stayed at this cool little art hotel thing in Berlin. And a guy there had a photo on the wall. It was a photo of the Reichstag building in Berlin. The Reichstag is a historical building in Berlin that was known for housing German parliament, and it was also famously not destroyed but severely damaged during World War II, and it was basically in disrepair for the entirety of the Cold War as well, because it was located so close to the Berlin Wall. Anyway, when he showed me this photo of this building, I didn't know it was that building because it was completely covered in fabric. And here's an image of it, and it's even more impressive than the Arc de Triomphe. If you've seen both of these buildings, you'll know just how enormous this particular building is. I found this image which I thought was quite cool. It's the Arc de Triomphe, and it must be in preparation of the work because they've built these sort of cages to protect some of the neoclassical design elements from the fabric. All right, so I just want to show you two more pieces, although there are so many examples too that I could show you, but I'll be here for fucking forever. So this next one is called the Valley Curtain, and it hung across Colorado State Highway 325, which is this one here. I've found the exact location because I'm a genius. This one, surprisingly, was one of the cliff one was a fucking debacle. But this was a very difficult one to assemble. And again, they relied on the kindness of strangers who really helped them construct this valley curtain in 1972, which only lasted for 28 hours because it was destroyed by the wind. And here it is. Pretty cool. So yeah, if you followed this highway along, what was it, Highway 325 or something, you could drive under the fabric over here somewhere. Yeah, 28 hours for that one. And gosh, who knows how long it took to plan it. So that one's one of my favorites, along with the Reichstag example. I was just so blown away by it when the hotel guy and EC art teacher told me. And the next I love as well because it's really interactive. And this one is in a lake called I guess it's Lago Iseo, and it's in Italy in the Brescia area. So here it is from above. Actually, I'll show you from Google Earth as well. Here we are. This is Lake Iseo, and this is an image taken from 2016. I'll go back one so you can see. You can see that they began constructing it over here, missing a couple of sections. 2015, not there. 16, and later in 2016, and then it was gone 2 months after that. So yeah, this is called the floating piers, and they extended across these huge sections of lake, and they're a walkway installation. And basically, it allowed visitors to the area to have the experience of walking on water, because these floating piers were literally on the water surface. It must have been a pretty surreal experience walking across a lake, and it was very popular. As you can see, all these little dots on here, I'm pretty sure that's people. And not only did they build the walkways, they covered the paths of a few streets leading up to the walkways just to enhance the experience. I saw a really cool photo of people meandering and weaving down through this cool little Italian town, and the streets are lined with this yellow material. Let me find the image. Here you go. Gosh, I'm hungry. Pranzo al sacco. Sacco. Don't know. Anyway, let me show you some more images of this amazing artwork. So here's another one, and here it is. These people just walking along this, floating, bobbing surface across the water. We've got boats here. I guess they're lifeguards because they easily take a tumble, slip underneath. Some people are just chilling, relaxing. Just be a really fun, surreal, strange experience. Here it is again without anyone on it. That's one of my favorites, along with the Valley Curtain in Gun in Colorado. Yeah, but there were heaps of other ones as well. There was one in a part of California. It was called the Running Fence, and it was a white nylon fence that just ran through the Californian countryside, and it just ran straight into the ocean. It looks unreal. Yeah, go look up this artist and check out all their work if you have not heard of them before. I would have loved to have seen I would have loved to have seen the Arc de Triomphe wrapped in fabric. That just would have been like super surreal and fun. Yeah. What do you think of these works? Let me know in the chat, the comments section, if you will. Now, I suppose I better participate in the game, and that is the game of Geoguessr. Let me just click my fingers. Click. All right, onto the game. This is a half crap map spectacular, but not really. I've just picked some words. I picked public art, and I also picked canvas. And I picked this one, chicken and bacon wrap, because I had the word wrap, and we've been looking at wrapped monuments and landscapes. Let's begin with the more sensible of the three map names. It's called Weird Public Art, and there's several locations. We will be the judge of how weird it is. Weirder the better sometimes, I think anyway. Alright, yeah, this is pretty weird. And look, oh, that's cool. This is something that's demonstrating the layers of the earth, perhaps? What does it say? It's in French. Lumière dans l'éventé history. Yeah, I think I'm right. EI, do you want to weigh in and let me know what it says? Thank you. Unless it's like a tomb, that's possible as well. Alright, this is France then, and Chabla, and Chabla. Not familiar with Chabla. I'm gonna say somewhere near here. Oh, the fuck is that noise? Alright, not great. At least we got the country right. This person has a distinct lack of body, but still managing to cup that hand, aren't they? Now, what city is this in? Don't know. Don't speak the language. I might have to take a little break, I think. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back to a brand new day. I am fully awake and present now, and I don't remember what we're doing. That's right, weird public arts. So we have this head. It's gently covering its eyes, shielding its face, cupping its own cheek. Now, where are we? Monument historique? Cochon? Pied Mocohon. I suppose this is Paris. Looks like it, doesn't it? These buildings that Napoleon loved so much. That could be somewhere else in France, but I think Paris is a pretty safe bet. Let's bet 50 francs on Paris. We'll go here. There you go. Probably could have made a more considerate guess then, but whatever. Here we go. We have a fat hand. A chubby hand with small fingers. I think Napoleon had hands like this. Was he famous for having small hands? He was just a small-handed man all round. Small man all round, I should say. It looks like the flag of Poland. Either that or Indonesia, but I always get the flags mixed up. But I think we can safely say that this isn't Indonesia. I'm going to raw claw for this one. Let's see. All right. We made a terrible mistake there. It was fucking Madrid. I saw a Polish flag. I'm sure I did. Oh no. It's the Spanish flag. Oh, I'm such a fool. I'm such a fool from that angle. Oh god. I didn't even fucking look like Poland. Whatever. Look, I'm not too embarrassed. I was relying solely on the flag. I am embarrassed, let's face it. Never mind. Carrying on. Actually, did they even look for the artwork? Oh yeah, the fat hand. We have a dog urinating on a pole. There's no lead on this dog. Straight off to the pound with that one. Alright, I'm not going to fall for the same crap. Oh, this is cool. I'm pretty sure this is the public art here, but this here is a very famous work of a French street artist named Invader, as in Space Invader. Unless it's a replica, but I don't think so. They're famous for their ceramic tile mosaics based on the pixelated 70s and 80s 8-bit video game Space Invader. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure they're French. This is a French street, but then we have this under here, which is not French, but we do have the Belgian flag, so that checks out with the language. Yeah, that's very cool. I think This looks like, is this Space Invader? They also do Pac-Man mosaics from memory of the ghosts. I don't think this is a ghost though. This looks like, yeah, one of the aliens from Space Invader. Cool. They were like quite well known when Banksy was, I guess, in the height of his whatever. So articulate today. There's a lot of really cool street art in this area of town, which, where would it be? I think it's safe to say that this is probably just in the capital, in Brussels. Just go somewhere central. Maybe we can find the street. CBF or CB. Yeah. CB nah, yeah, or yeah, nah. We could give it a crack. We never do this. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we bored of this? I think we are. You know me. Let's just go here, even though it isn't the street, but whatever. Fuck. I was... oh, no. Oh, I was so close. Whatever. Look, I'm still pretty pleased with that. If only I could go to the effort. If only I could, push myself to find those places. If we do think this is Mexico, I'm inclined to pick somewhere down the tail end. Maybe around as far as the Yucatan. Maybe we will go somewhere Cancun. Maybe on the way to Cancun or something. That'll do. Yep. That was a terrible guess. Terrible. It's in Brazil. I also neglected to look for the street art in that one. Did I forget to look? How do I go back and see my score? Whatever. All right. Done and dusted. Now, based on the theme, what was it? It's art. I've selected this one, chicken and bacon wrap. I popped the word wrap into the search bar because the work of Christo and Jean-Claude were wrapped, monuments and landscapes wrapped in fabric. So this is the only one I could find with the word wrap in it. Let's play it, chicken and bacon wrap. Then we'll finish with Canvas by Dog. Okay. Chicken and bacon. Oh my word. All right. The Northbridge car boot sale. Leisure Centre. We have the English spelling of centre, not the Yank spelling. And we've got the word boot as well. Boot is also an English word. Yanks call it a trunk, I think, with all that in mind. And with the back yellow number plate in mind, I suppose this is going to be somewhere in the United Kingdom. Looks like we have the front white number plate too to confirm it. What is this, like a little mini fucking thing? All right. Northbridge, somewhere in the North Country. Really discouraging the selling things from your boot in this area. Whether there's northerners live in the fucking north, that's where. Let's go. Oh, look, there's a place called Great Britain and Lamroo. Look, Blackburn? That's in the north, is it not? I don't know. Holy fuck. I'm pretty proud of that guess, I have to say. Hey, near Halifax. There must be a lot of Halifaxes kicking about. I don't think that's the biggest Halifax in the area. All right, next up. The chicken and bacon wrap. Okay. Don't know. Whoa, okay. Maybe they're all in Halifax. Yates's Halifax. What is going on here? Halifax tattoo. Is this the Halifax that I featured on an earlier episode? The birthplace of EIM. That is, of course, Erica's iPad's mum. Now, I think she was born there. Yeah, all right. I don't know if it's the same Halifax, though. It seemed too small. We'll go back there anyway. Where was it? It was near, just across from Blackburn there. Is it the same Halifax? I need to find the carpet factory. Beacon Hill. Bacon Hill? Look, we'll just go here. This must be the same Halifax. Let's look it up quickly. All right, so it was Dean Clough. I think it's Clough. Anyway, yeah, it is that one, I think. Let's see. Yeah, there's Blackburn. Interesting. Let's lay our eyes on that beautiful factory one more time. I believe EI's ancestors worked in this factory for a spell. I imagine it would have been really labour-intensive work. A cool building. Massive carpet factory. I think it was the biggest in the world from memory. Cool little panorama there that we've all seen before, assuming you've watched every single one of my episodes. Who is this chap anyway? This Willy Wonka of the carpet world. No one ever goes in. No one ever comes out.
Nobody ever goes in. Nobody ever comes out.
Just like the character from the film. Here they are. They're just walking out the front of factories, waiting for your young children to frighten. Let's look up Dean Clough. All right, it's a collection of large factories, and what's for Crosley's carpet? What is this? An aluminium sheep by artist Frank Darnley. Darnley? Sheep? Come on. He overlooks the mills, next to a similar sculpture representing a phoenix bird. All right, we're going to have to quickly look for those too. But who are these Crosleys? Here we go. He's got a carpet on his face. The Baronet of Halifax manufactured carpet. When he wasn't at school, he was working on his own loom, as every young child did. Grew rapidly with the application of steam power in the production of carpet, not that pesky, sooty coal. He had one son, Seville Crosley. Let's check out old Seville. Okay. Seville was a dandy, clearly. Can you say dandy? I think you can. The only son. And I think we can all agree that the bloodline ended with Seville. No. I'm sure he married, let's see. Yeah, he married Phyllis, daughter of General Sir Henry Percival de Bath. Didn't have a beard, but he did in a way. He had a son too, Francis Seville. He went to Eton. That's where Willie and Harry went. Wounded in World War I, taken prisoner. And he had a son, Seville Bill Crosley. Seville Will Crosley. What a name. All right. He also went to Eton and Agricultural College, now university. So when you study ag in the UK, it is not the same as studying agriculture in Australia. So in Australia, you might go and study agriculture to learn how to, I don't know, fucking run a farm or do some sort of research and development, or I don't know, start an agribusiness or work for the government, writing policies, or you could become an agriculture teacher and teach high school students how to ride a tractor or whatever the hell. There are lots of things. Food science, that could be another thing. Lots of potential job opportunities, but farm management's probably a pretty common one. However, in the UK, traditionally agriculture is associated with the land-owning classes. So the students that typically attend these schools are affluent, generally associated with the aristocracy. The aristocracy? Whatever. That sounds right. So yeah, because of these land-ownery aristocratic beginnings, entering into agricultural education is typically associated with wealth by extension. And yeah, if you want to be a farmer, you have to own fucking land. And the UK isn't that big, and the cost of land is high, and the incredibly affluent are the ones that own the land. All right, so yeah, just to illustrate my point further, I know I'm going on a tangent. One of the most prestigious and famous agricultural universities is this one, the Royal Agricultural University. It's called Cirencester or something as well. And when I say it's one of the poshest universities in the UK, I don't mean agriculture universities. I just mean universities in general. Yeah, the alumnus, I don't know, the young adults that come here, the children of earls and, I don't know, counts and whatever, what else, barons and baronesses. It's like the elite. The tuition fees are really high, so it's not any sort of farmer could come and study here. And the point of attending a university like this isn't to get a quality agricultural education or a fucking degree in equine studies. It's to network and hobnob with the other rich people. The grounds are massive. It's a big school. There we go. That's a nice photo of it. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this photo here. A class of lads that attend this school. And yeah, do you think any of these guys has ever lifted a fucking shovel in their entire lives? Maybe they have. It's, yeah, as I said, farming in the UK is about tenancy. You own the farms and I guess, I don't know, manage them and somebody else does all the other work for you. Yeah, maybe I'm judging these young farmers too critically, but I don't think I am. I think I've got a pretty good grasp of what's up here. If you leave this university and grow up to be an earl or a baron or a baroness then, you know, there's a correlation. So, off track again, as per usual. Let's just quickly have a look at an agricultural school in Australia to compare. Look, here they are with their bucket hats and their polo shirts. Yeah, it's a bit different. It's a bit different, isn't it? I think I read somewhere, I can't remember where I read it. Who cares? And sadly, I think I read it in a book probably 10 years ago, and it said that there's only, I think maybe 50 to 100 years of fertile soil left in the UK. And after that, it will be unviable, meaning you will not be able to grow anything in that soil anymore. So let's hope the young men and women at this university put their heads together to solve that problem. That's probably about 80 years away at this stage. Yeah, and maybe they can figure out how to not contribute 10% of the greenhouse gases too. So, yeah, this is them. It's funny. I didn't know this about agricultural schools in the UK. I was told by Wilbur Wagons, who thought that our agricultural schools were similar to theirs, but no, they're quite different. I'm sure there's some rich farm owner children in Australia that go on to inherit farms and do no work. All of the contestants on the farm wants a wife, for example. So again, we have strayed off course. Somehow we went from Halifax to Carpet to that Crosley family line to agriculture schools in the UK. And now I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. That's right. We're in Halifax. Are we still in Halifax? I don't know. Denmark. Whenever I see streets like this, it always reminds me of somewhere oceanside for some reason. When it's, I don't know, not a single tree, maybe. Although there's some trees there. Rochvale. Hello. What have we got going on here other than some hostile architecture? We're probably still in Halifax. Bacon Wraps, Halifax. Who knows why people make these maps? There might be some in-joke that I'm not privy to because I'm not a northerner. No, it was on the coast, just like I said. Blackpool, in fact. Never mind. Still got a pretty good score. This person has put them all in the same area, but left the world map open, which means I'm getting good scores when I don't deserve them since all these places have been in the same area. Look, should we just go Blackpool again? This is a terrible photo. I can't really make out much, but since everything else has been in... Although, now I'm thinking... Wait a second. Hold on. Don't rush. For a second, I thought that this could be Bondi. Hold on. It's just so fucking blurry, it's impossible to tell. Why do I think it's Bondi? Because that looks like the little thing from Bondi Rescue. I can't see anything. There's no way, right? Why would they do that? Fucking looks like Bondi, though. Should I go for it? I think I might. Probably a stupid guess, but whatever. It's what it looks like. It's probably Blackpool, fucking Bondi. There you go. Still couldn't get 5k though. Why did they do that? I'm confused. This is a really random map. Chicken and bacon wrap. What are you doing, mate? All right, this is a sad little gummy shark here in not a lot of water. The shark requires more water than that. Is this the claw? Is this that ride, the Claw? It's looking a bit run down now. I remember when it came out, if I'm thinking of the same ride. If it is the Claw, no, this theme park looks shit. But I don't know, maybe I'm just not looking at it with a child's lens anymore. And this is just how these fucking things look. Is this SeaWorld or Dreamworld, dare I say? It could be. Kind of feel like this is the UK though. They seem to have really daggy shit looking theme parks. But why would they have this shark one? Is it the Thunderbolt? This is what Dreamworld looks like now. Hello?
Do you need this zucchini?
No, I don't need the zucchini. Here we go. The Claw. Is that the pirate ship? It just looks like a really sad UK theme park though, doesn't it? This isn't Dreamworld. There's no way. We can do better than this. This is the UK for sure. Nobody would be wearing all these jackets in Queensland either. This is fucking Blackpool. Definitely. Put a coat of paint on that shit. Okay. Phew. But it wasn't. It was out here in Kirby Misperton. And it was the Flamingo Land Resort. Excellent. 4 in the UK, 1 in Bondi. That is curious. There you go. Let's play the last one. And it's called Famous Art Paintings. Let's see. My art knowledge is up to scratch. Probably not. This is going to be in Hamburg. Is it? All right. Brighton Toy and Model Museum. That's useful. It suggests that we're in Brighton. And this is a pretty cool wall. It must be a recording studio for all of these jokers. I see John Lennon's face up there quite a bit. Go to Brighton then, which is where, I didn't even know where Brighton is. It's on the beach, isn't it? Somewhere around here. Oh, I can't be bothered. I was going to say somewhere in there. Whatever. Yeah, I knew. So silly. You knew it was... All right, looks like we have a little bit of Banksy here. Smiling copper. Who knows where this artwork is, though? Lots of Banksy. I guess this is in London too. I don't know. This is very famous Banksy work here. Is it just in London? I don't know. Maybe. We'll just say that. It's probably in New York or something. Nope. Amsterdam. That's okay. Carrying on. This is a frieze. I think that's what it's called. A frieze. I wonder if everybody knew this is actually how the Last Supper appears or what the original artwork looks like. Inside a room, painted on the wall. And if you ever want to view this painting, you have to book a year in advance because obviously it can get a little bit hectic in here because it is in a room. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a doorway that's cutting out Jesus's legs. And that's because the tradesperson on the other side was doing some renovations and they wanted to cut a doorway through this wall and they cut a door through the fucking Last Supper, the original frieze painted by LDV, Leonardo da Vinci. I don't think it's a frieze. I think it's just a mural. I think a frieze is like a, I don't know, like a piece of plasterwork or something. Let me look. Okay, interesting. All right. So this is the cornice here on an entablature. The frieze is this part here in the middle and the architrave is that part there. Fascinating. Something I'm sure all of you wanted to know. All right, back to this painting, The Last Supper. It's a hectic looking dinner. Jesus is clearly drunk and there's fucking bread all over the table as well. Now, I can't believe somebody cut through it though. Now look, it happened a long time ago, probably in the 17th century. Nobody really knows who did it, but I guess the artwork wasn't really appreciated as much as it is now. Anyway, this is in Italy. The first time I went to this city, I thought I could just rock up and view the artwork, only to discover that yes, you do in fact have to book. And so I've never seen it, but that's okay. I'll perhaps get a chance to view this mural, this party, one day. There is another great piece of artwork in Milan, though, that I did get to see. I'll show it to you in a second. I don't know where in Milan The Last Supper is, so I'll just click anywhere. Hey, it turns out I was pretty close. Gosh, that's the fourth time or the third time I've been 1 point off a 5K. Let me show you this other artwork that I love in Milan. Okay, so this artwork is in the Piazza Affari, and it's near the Duomo, which is the second biggest church in the world. It is an incredible building. That whole square is amazing. And yeah, this artwork is called LOVE, and it's situated in the center of the Italian Stock Exchange. Let me show you the artwork now. Oh, somebody's painted the fingernail. Yeah, this is it. This is LOVE. I forget the artist's name. And it's basically a big fuck you to the world of bankers and CEOs and the rich, the British farming elite, if you will. So yeah, that's that one there. I love it. When I stumbled upon this art piece by accident, probably sadly walking away from the locked door of the Last Supper, I was pretty happy to have found it. I thought it was super cool. And really cool that it's got the painted nail too. I like that. Here it is again without the painted nail. Alrighty, back to the game. Interesting. So we have some nice surrealist work here. Curious. I wonder if that's by the same. Yeah. Line 27. Where might this one be? Throwing the head back. Is this in Italy? Is this in Paris? Or is this in Marina or something? Museum of Modern MoMA? Yeah, MoMA. I might go with New York. Even though, hold on, fire extinguisher, no. PowerPoint, nothing. Fuck, I don't know. I don't know where this work is. I'm afraid to say. Oh, that looks European. Actually, I reckon this is in Italy. That looks like one of the old Italian plugs that you would see in Milan, actually. But why would they just be in Milan again? I might be horribly misreading that plug. What do US plugs look like? They don't look like that. Look, I am going to go back to Italy. But where in Italy? Milan again? But where in Milan? No, it was just Rome. Oh, at least I didn't go to New York. At least I know my Italian PowerPoints better than I know my artworks. All right, here we go. We've got the Gummy de Milo. No, it's the Venus de Milo. And actually, no, this isn't the Venus de Milo or the Gummy de Milo. It is The Birth of Venus by Botticelli, I think. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, and this is in the Louvre. And the Venus de Milo was in the Louvre as well. So I'm not that much of an idiot. And it's the same, perhaps the same person. Is it Aphrodite? Or is it just Venus, the goddess Venus? Yeah. This actually doesn't look like the Louvre though. And why would all these Botticelli paintings be in Paris anyway? I think this is actually in Florence. I'm a fool. Or is it that Italian PowerPoint again? Yeah, I don't think this is the Louvre. I'm getting my De Milos and my births of my Botticellis and my whoever made that sculpture mixed up. And I think this is in Florence. Lots of the galleries and museums have roofs like this in Florence, as depicted in Angels and Demons, the film starring Tom Hanks and an anonymous woman. And I just can't see the Louvre having these fucking air conditioners in here. Air conditioners to keep the artwork cool or keep the room at the right temperature. And you probably wouldn't need to do that in Paris anyway, would you? So all that to say, I think we're in Florence. And this is The Birth of Venus by Botticelli. Anyway, I saw this before and I just wanted to draw your attention to it. I think it's pretty cool. Wish they had one of these for all the artwork in this room, but it's a tactile depiction of the birth of Venus for people who have low vision or blindness so that they can experience the work as well. Look, this absolutely confirms it. This is the dodgiest fucking Italian PowerPoint I've ever seen. Absolutely confirms that we're in Florence, not the artwork or the architecture. It's those two holes in the wall. So let's go to Florence. Wow, that was a lot of weird deductive reasoning for what should have been a really simple guess. We'll just pick here because we've wasted all of our time. So close and yet so far again. What a score. Great score. It was okay. It wasn't too bad. All right. I think that concludes this episode. Hope you enjoyed learning about Christo and Jean-Claude and their large-scale wrapped art pieces. Yeah. I'll go off and try and think of something else interesting to share with you. That's it. Hooroo.